Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Continuing on with Halloween, I put together yet another Halloween card that's kind of has like a low poly mesh kind of look to it. At least that's the aesthetic that I think Close to My Heart was going for. When I originally saw this stamp set, I believe a stamp set, die set, papers, all that kind of stuff, last year it really didn't spark a lot of, as Marie Kondo would say, it didn't spark a lot of joy with me. But I'm so glad that Tabitha Carroll ended up sending this stamp die and just everything to me, because I've ended up loving this one. It is such a cool kind of aesthetic, and I'm already gearing up with ideas using this stamp set some more, not these specific images, but some other ones, so look for that coming up in the next couple of weeks. I hope to implement my ideas, at least I'm gonna try, right? So let's go ahead and take a look how I put this card together. To get started today, I'm going to be using these stamp and thin cuts from Close to My Heart. This is the Bats and Cats card making and Bats and Cats scrapbooking, Z4045 and Z4040. These may be retired. I don't know that they are still available because these are, I believe, from 2018. So you may not be able to find these sets anymore, because I'm sure Close to My Heart has come out with some new ones. Haven't been paying attention enough to know. So anyways, I'm going to be using the bat and the moon from this stamp set, and then the cat and the Happy Halloween from this stamp set. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to stamp these out onto just some regular cardstock, some scrap cardstock that I had, and we'll get these cut out using the die cut machine. I'm also going to be bringing in some similar colors to some embellishments that I have. So we have lemon, paisley, and emerald in the Close to My Heart inks. Okay, I've got all my stamping done. As you can see, the cat didn't quite line up, but the way with this aesthetic, it's kind of a low poly kind of aesthetic, so it can be grungy, it can be not as refined, so I'm okay with it, even though it didn't quite exactly line up the way that it should have. That will fit in well with how this kind of style is set. Also, you saw that I messed up that stamping. That's okay. I stamped it again, so that way I'll get a better impression, and I'll just discard that first stamp. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the matching dies for it, and I'll put it through my Cuttlebug to die cut everything out. I have some Nina Solar White 110 pound cardstock. I'm scoring this at 5.5, so that way my paper is 4 1/4 by 5.5. It's the standard size, A2 size. I can't talk and do two things at the same time, my goodness. Anyways, basically I'm just going to score this in half, and I do already have another card base ready to go since I cut that piece of paper in half. So I'm going to go ahead and score it, and then I will set it off to the side, so that way I'll have one ready to go the next time I'm ready to make a card. Now, in this kit for the card and scrapbook pages, there is some green kind of dotted paper and then some black kind of lined paper. It may not be showing up on camera, but there are vertical lines here on the black paper and then small dots on the green paper. So I'm going to use these. I'm going to use the green kind of like grass and the black as a background. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the black page to 4 1/4 by 5.5 to give me the background for my kind of scene, and then I'll cut this down to a size unknown at the moment to give me kind of a grass. Okay, let's go ahead and start setting up our scene. I'm going to use my whatever, the dot liner here, and I'm going to use this on the green paper, so that way I can glue that down and make it look like grass across the front of my card. Just want to make sure that it's lined up as best as possible. It's not going to be perfect, and I'm also starting to figure out that my paper trimmer is slightly off, so it doesn't quite cut on the square. It cuts a little bit off, but that's okay. Anyways, so now that I have that, I'm going to start laying out my pieces how I want them to be. I'm going to do that one there, and let's see, do I want, yeah, I kind of want the moon there with our bat flying that way. something like that. Now in the stamp set, we also have a perfect and then Halloween. So how can we put all of these together? Do I even need the bat? Yeah, it's kind of empty otherwise, right? Yeah, that just, to me, feels too empty to do that. So let's put the moon back over there and put the bat over here. Kind of like that. What do you think? I kind of like it. Okay, I like how this is laid out, so I'm going to go ahead and start gluing everything down. I'm going to take my moon and use the dot liner on it. But for most of the other shapes, not all of them, I am going to use some foam adhesive on them to kind of pop them up and give them a little bit of dimension. Alright, I have added my foam adhesive onto the back, so now what I'm going to do is start sticking everything down. I wanted the cat right about there. And then I'll put the bat on. Ooh, that's looking cool. I like that already. Then I'll put the bat on like right about there. What do you think? Yeah, about like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the Halloween on, and I'm just gonna do it straight down onto the card base because I'm gonna want to pop up. Oops, I like this Ken Oliver mat, but sometimes it pulls the ink off and it scares me because it looks like when I pull up the paper that there's not going to be any ink left, but it's still there. It obviously is still very much there, so I don't know. Anyways, so there is that part stuck down, and there's a little bit of the sticky little bits left over, so I'm just cleaning those off with my finger here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the let's see, nope, it's a haunted. Have a perfect, I can't roll my R's. That just doesn't happen for me, so I can't do it very well. But anyways, I will put that right there. Oops. And I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with this yet, but I know I want to do something. So I want to make a little tag or something right there. So let's do that. Okay, I have some just little scrap piece of cardstock. I'm gonna pick up some Versamark ink onto my stamp here, and oh, I almost forgot the anti-static powder tool. Thank you, Ian, for remembering that. This is to help cut down on the embossing powder sticking anywhere I don't want it to stick. It does show up on black cardstock, but luckily enough, whenever you rub your finger over it, once you've done the actual stamping and embossing powder, it washes away or wipes away very easily. So, alright, so I'm going to pick up some more ink just to make sure. And I didn't quite pick this stamp up perfectly on my acrylic block, so it's a little crooked, and I just kind of guessed at that. It looks like everything worked out, so let's do some heat embossing with it. I forgot to mention I'm using white alabaster embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. Alright, I've cut this down. It may not be cut 100% perfect. I probably have a little bit of crookedness to it, but that's fine. I'm going to pop it up using some of the foam adhesive again. Just putting it across like that. Okie dokie, we have our sentiment with its little foam adhesive on the back, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and put it across the Halloween. Just like that. Oh, I love this. I freaking love this card. I say that a lot on my channel, but it's super cute. I love it. So now I'm going to take my card base, which is, zooming back out here, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 for the front, and I'm just going to use my dot adhesive liner to get it all prepped and ready to go for putting the card on. The reason I'm not putting it onto the back of the actual card panel is because I don't want to smush down that foam tape. I would be afraid that I would end up smushing it down in some way. So what I'm going to do is just try and line it up as best as I can. I never get this part exactly right. It's always a little off, but you know, that's okay. Yep, and once again I have successfully put it on crooked as always, but that's okay. So anyways, so there it is. Here's our finished card for today. I think it came out great. Overall, I really like how this card came out. I think there might be a few tweaks that I might make to it if I was to make it again. The Halloween is very bright up against the rest of the cards, so I might do that on black cardstock instead of white cardstock. Lots of different ways you could do this, and so many different ways to change it up and add some more things to it. So it's all about your personal taste and just, of course, having fun with it. I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, let YouTube know that you like my video, and then hopefully YouTube will then share it across YouTube land. Also guys, don't forget to hit that button down below that says subscribe and click the bell notification icon to get notified every time I post a new video or go live. Also guys, don't forget down below I have listed all of my social media links. Make sure to come get social with me, say hello over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and more. All of those are listed down in the description below. Get social with me and say hello. I hope everybody has a great day, and remember guys, normal's just a setting on the dryer. Bye!